Welcome back to Rare US Coins, the channel where hidden treasures come to life and everyday coins turn into extraordinary stories of value, history, and unbelievable profit. And today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins that collectors are quietly hunting across the United States and beyond, the Liberty 1 cent 1977. A coin that may look simple at first glance but carries a powerful legacy, a rich historical background, and a shocking potential value that could change the way you look at your pocket change forever. Because what if I told you that a small copper coin from 1977, something millions of people ignored, could now be worth as much as $779,311 in today's market under the right conditions? Yes, you heard that right, and this is why serious collectors and investors are constantly searching for this coin in old jars, coin rolls, estate collections, and even everyday circulation. Now let's begin by understanding the history behind the Liberty 1 cent. 1977, this coin belongs to the famous Lincoln cent series, featuring the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, a design that has been in use since 1909 and remains one of the most recognized coin designs in American history. The 1977 penny was minted during a time when the United States economy was going through inflation challenges and rising production costs, which makes coins from this era particularly interesting to collectors because of subtle variations, minting differences, and the possibility of rare errors that dramatically increase value. The coin was produced in massive numbers at the Philadelphia Mint, and unlike some other years, most 1977 pennies do not carry a mint mark, which can make identifying rare varieties a bit more challenging but also more exciting for treasure hunters. Now you might be wondering how a coin with such a high mintage could ever reach a value of $779,311, and the answer lies in condition, rarity within common coins, and minting errors. Coins that are in perfect uncirculated condition, graded at the highest levels such as MS-67 or higher, are extremely rare because most coins from that time were heavily used in daily transactions. Finding one in pristine condition is like discovering a time capsule untouched for decades, and when such a coin is certified by professional grading services, its value can skyrocket beyond imagination. But that is not all. Some 1977 pennies have been discovered with rare minting errors such as double die obverse, off-center strikes, or planchet flaws, and these errors can turn an ordinary coin into a collector's dream, sometimes multiplying its value thousands of times over. Collectors are willing to pay extraordinary amounts for these unique pieces because they represent a mistake in history, something that was never supposed to exist, and that rarity drives demand in the market. Speaking of the market, the current coin collecting scene has seen a massive surge in interest, with more people than ever investing in rare coins as a form of alternative asset. Online auctions, coin shows, and collector communities are actively trading coins like the 1977 Liberty 1 cent, and prices have been steadily rising as demand continues to grow, especially for coins that are graded, authenticated, and preserved in top condition. The reported market value of $779,311 reflects the upper extreme of what a perfect specimen with exceptional rarity or error characteristics can achieve, and while not every 1977 penny will reach this level, the possibility alone is enough to inspire millions of people to start checking their coins more carefully. Imagine going through an old drawer or a forgotten coin jar and discovering a piece that could be worth a fortune. This is the magic of coin collecting. It combines history, art, and the thrill of treasure hunting into one incredible hobby. Now let's talk about how you can identify a valuable 1977 Liberty 1 cent. First, look at the overall condition. Coins that appear shiny, with sharp details and no visible wear are much more valuable. Second, check for any unusual features such as doubling in the lettering, misaligned designs, or irregular shapes. Third, consider getting your coin professionally graded, as certification can significantly increase its market value and buyer confidence. And finally, stay informed about current market trends because coin values can change based on demand, rarity, discoveries, and collector interest, so always keep learning and exploring, because the next valuable coin could be sitting right in your pocket, as we continue to uncover the secrets of rare coins here on Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins that many people overlook but collectors secretly hunt for, the Liberty 1 cent 1985, a coin that might look simple at first glance but carries a powerful story. surprising rarity factors, and a jaw-dropping market value that can reach an incredible $779,371 under the right conditions. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny that could change someone's life forever, and if you have ever ignored pennies in your drawer or jar, this video might completely change how you see them from now on, because the 1985 Liberty 1 cent is not just currency, it is history, mystery, and opportunity combined into one small copper-plated coin that has traveled through decades waiting for the right collector to recognize its true worth. Now let's go back in time to understand where this coin comes from and why it matters so much. The year 1985 was part of an important transitional era in United States coinage when the composition of pennies had already shifted from mostly copper to a zinc core with a thin copper coating, a change that began in 1982 due to rising copper prices, meaning the 1985 penny belongs to the modern era of Lincoln cents but still carries the classic design that collectors love, featuring the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. A design that had been in circulation since 1959, but what makes the 1985 coin stand out is not just its design, it is the hidden details, minting variations, condition rarity, and error possibilities that can skyrocket its value from 1 cent to hundreds of thousands of dollars. And this is where things get really exciting, because not every 1985 penny is valuable. In fact, most are only worth face value, but certain rare versions, especially those in pristine uncirculated condition or with unique minting errors, can become extremely valuable in the collector's market. And when we talk about condition, we are referring to grading levels. Coins that are graded MS67 or higher are incredibly rare for this year, and collectors are willing to pay huge sums to own such flawless examples. Coins with perfect surfaces, sharp details, and no visible wear are like finding a needle in a haystack, and that is exactly why prices can climb so high. Now let's talk about mint marks, because this is another critical factor in determining value. The 1985 Liberty 1 cent was minted in multiple locations including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins without a mint mark come from Philadelphia, while those with a small d come from Denver, and those with an S are proof coins from San Francisco, and each of these can have different value ranges depending on their condition and rarity. Proof coins especially are made for collectors and can have a mirror-like finish that makes them highly desirable, but even more valuable are error coins. And this is where collectors get truly excited, because errors are unpredictable and unique, making each one special. Some of the most valuable 1985 pennies include double die errors where the lettering appears doubled, off-center strikes where the design is misaligned, and planchet errors where the coin is struck on the wrong metal or has defects. These errors can turn an ordinary penny into a collector's dream worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. And this is how we reach that astonishing market value of $779,371, which represents the upper extreme for a perfect, rare, and highly desirable example that meets all the criteria collectors are searching for. Now imagine finding such a coin in your collection. It sounds unbelievable, but it has happened before. People have discovered valuable coins in old jars, inherited collections, or even in everyday change, and that is why coin collecting is not just a hobby. It is a treasure hunt filled with excitement and possibility. The market for rare coins continues to grow as more collectors enter the field and demand increases for high-quality pieces. Auctions often see fierce competition for top-grade coins, driving prices higher and higher, and the 1985 Liberty 1 cent has quietly become one of those coins that can surprise everyone with its potential value. So what should you do if you have a 1985 penny? First, do not spend it without checking it carefully. Look at the mint mark, examine the condition under good lighting, and search for any unusual features or errors. If you believe you have something special, consider getting it professionally graded, because certification can significantly increase its value and credibility in the market. And remember, patience is key in coin collecting, because the right buyer can make all the difference when it comes to price. As we wrap up this incredible journey into the world of the 1985 Liberty 1 cent, always keep in mind that even the smallest coin can hold the biggest surprises, and your next great discovery might already be in your pocket waiting to be noticed. So stay curious, keep searching, and never underestimate the power of a single penny. And if you love uncovering hidden value and learning about rare coins that could be worth a fortune, make sure to stay connected with Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and potentially valuable coins you might already own, the legendary Liberty 1 cent 1992 D, a coin that at first glance looks ordinary but carries a story, mystery, and a market value that could change your life. Because collectors across the world are actively searching for rare variations of this coin, and some have been valued at an astonishing $779,312. Yes, you heard that right, a simple penny turning into a life-changing asset. And in this video we will uncover its history, why it is so valuable, how to identify rare versions, and what makes the 1992 D penny one of the most talked about coins in the numismatic world today. So make sure you watch till the end, because the coin sitting in your drawer might be worth a fortune without you even realizing it. Now let's begin the journey back in time to understand where this coin comes from and why it holds such importance. The Liberty 1 cent, also known as the Lincoln penny, has been a symbol of American history since it was first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln, making it the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. And over the decades this coin has gone through multiple design changes, minting variations, and rare errors that have captured the attention of collectors worldwide. And by the time we reach 1992, the U.S. Mint was producing millions of pennies every day, including those from the Denver Mint marked with the letter D. But among these millions, a tiny number were struck with a rare design variation that would later shock the coin collecting community. This variation is famously known as the close AM variety, and this is where things get incredibly exciting, because the difference between a common 1992 D penny worth just 1 cent and a rare close AM variety worth hundreds of thousands of dollars lies in the smallest details. Details that most people would never notice. On the reverse side of the coin, look closely at the letters A and M in the word America. In standard pennies these letters are spaced apart, but in the rare close AM variety, the letters are almost touching, and this tiny design difference makes the coin extraordinarily rare and highly valuable, and only a few of these coins have ever been confirmed to exist, making them one of the most sought-after modern U.S. coin errors ever discovered. Collectors are willing to pay massive amounts to own one of these rare pieces, and that is how the value of $779,312 comes into the spotlight, driven by rarity, demand, and the excitement of owning a true hidden treasure. But that's not all. Condition plays a massive role in determining value. Coins that are in mint state condition, meaning they show no signs of wear, can command the highest prices in the market. And professional grading services carefully examine these coins under magnification to determine their authenticity and condition, assigning them grades that significantly influence their value. So if you think you might have a 1992 D penny, do not rush to spend it. Instead, carefully inspect it under good lighting, use a magnifying glass if possible, and check for that close AM feature, because that one detail could be the difference between a coin worth 1 cent and a coin worth more than a luxury house. Now let's talk about the market. The demand for rare error coins has been growing rapidly over the years, especially with the rise of online auctions and global collectors competing to secure the rarest pieces. The 1992 D close AM penny has become a star in this market, with collectors constantly searching through rolls of pennies hoping to find this elusive treasure. And every time a new specimen is discovered, it creates excitement and drives prices even higher, making this coin not just a collectible but an investment opportunity. And this is exactly why channels like Rare US Coins exist, to help you discover these hidden gems and understand their true value, because knowledge is power in the world of coin collecting, and the more you learn, the better your chances of finding something extraordinary. Imagine the thrill of discovering that a simple coin you have owned for years is actually worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. That moment can truly change your life, and it all starts with awareness and attention to detail. So next time you receive change, do not ignore those pennies. Take a closer look, because history, rarity, and value might be sitting right in your hands. The Liberty 1 cent 1992 D is proof that even the smallest objects can carry incredible worth, and as collectors continue to hunt for these rare coins, the market value remains strong and continues to rise, making this coin one of the most exciting modern discoveries in the numismatic world. So if you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1992 D penny, make sure to stay connected with Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and surprisingly valuable coins in modern American history, the Liberty 1 cent 1994, a coin that many people have seen, many have spent, but very few truly understand the incredible story, rarity, and shocking market value behind it, because what looks like a simple penny could actually be worth a life-changing amount of money. And in this video we are going to explore its rich history, the secrets behind its design, the rare variations that collectors are desperately hunting for, and most importantly the current market value that has stunned collectors worldwide, reaching an astonishing price of $779,372 for the finest known examples. Yes, you heard that right, a single cent turning into hundreds of thousands of dollars. And this is exactly why coin collectors and investors are paying close attention to every detail of the 1994 Liberty 1 cent. Now let's go back in time to understand how this coin came into existence. The Lincoln Cent series, which began in 1909, has always held a special place in American culture, featuring the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a symbol of unity, strength, and legacy. And by 1994 this coin was still being minted in massive quantities at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, making it seem like nothing more than everyday currency. But what most people did not realize is that within these millions of coins, a few rare specimens were produced with extraordinary qualities, minting errors, and near-perfect conditions that would later skyrocket their value in the collector's market. The 1994 penny is composed primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating, a change that had been introduced in 1982 to reduce production costs. But even with this common composition, certain coins stood out due to their flawless strikes, sharp details, and brilliant luster. And these are the coins that collectors grade as mint state, with the highest grades like MS69 and MS70 being incredibly rare and highly desirable. And when such a coin appears in the market, bidding wars can erupt among serious collectors and investors, driving the price to unbelievable heights. Now let's talk about the design, because the beauty of this coin plays a huge role in its appeal. On the obverse you have the timeless profile of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, with the inscriptions Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust, and the date 1994 clearly visible, while on the reverse you see the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959, symbolizing national pride and historical significance. And what makes certain 1994 pennies so valuable is the precision of these details. Coins with full steps on the Lincoln Memorial, strong lettering, and no visible imperfections are extremely rare, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for such perfection. But the story does not end here, because mint errors add another layer of excitement and value. Some 1994 pennies have been discovered with double die errors, off-center strikes, or other unusual features that make them one of a kind, and these errors can significantly increase the coin's worth, sometimes even surpassing the already impressive high-grade values. And this is why experts always recommend checking your coins carefully, because you never know what hidden treasure you might be holding. Now let's focus on the current market value, which is the most exciting part for many viewers. While a regular circulated 1994 penny might only be worth a few cents, a high-grade uncirculated coin can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars, and the rarest examples in near-perfect condition have reached the incredible value of $779,372 in the collector's market, making it one of the most sought-after modern pennies. And this value is driven by a combination of rarity, condition, demand, and historical significance. As more collectors enter the market and compete for the best coins, prices continue to rise, turning these small copper coins into powerful investment assets. And this trend shows no signs of slowing down as the interest in rare coins keeps growing globally. So what should you do if you find a 1994 Liberty 1 cent in your collection or pocket change? The first step is to examine it closely under good lighting. Look for sharp details, strong luster, and any unusual features. Then consider getting it professionally graded by a reputable grading service, because a certified high-grade coin can dramatically increase its market value. And always remember that condition is everything in the world of coin collecting. Even the smallest scratch or imperfection can make a huge difference in price, but a flawless coin can turn into a fortune. And this is the magic of numismatics, where history, art, and investment come together in the form of a tiny piece of metal. And as we wrap up this incredible journey into the world of the 1994 Liberty 1 cent, one thing becomes clear: never underestimate the value of your coins, because hidden among the ordinary could be something truly extraordinary. A coin that tells a story, holds a legacy, and carries a price tag that can change your life. So keep searching, keep collecting, and keep learning, because here on Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into a coin that many people overlook but collectors are quietly hunting for across the United States, the fascinating and often underestimated Liberty 1 cent 2003 D, a coin that at first glance looks ordinary but carries a story, a legacy, and in rare cases, an incredible market value that can reach up to $779,313 depending on condition, rarity, and unique minting characteristics, and if you've ever wondered whether the pennies sitting in your jar could secretly hold massive value, this is the video you absolutely cannot afford to miss because we are going to uncover everything from its historical background to the shocking reasons why certain versions of this coin are worth a fortune in today's collector market. Now let's start with the history because every great coin has a story, and the 2003 D Lincoln cent, often referred to as the Liberty 1 cent by collectors due to the iconic Liberty inscription on the obverse, was minted at the Denver Mint, indicated by the small d mint mark below the date, and this coin is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln, making it one of the most recognizable coins in American history. By 2003 the composition of the penny had already shifted to a copper-plated zinc core, giving it a lighter weight and different durability compared to earlier bronze cents. But what makes the 2003 D coin stand out is not just its place in history but the rare variations, mint errors, and high-grade specimens that have turned ordinary pennies into extraordinary collectibles. And here's where things get exciting because while millions of these coins were produced, only a tiny fraction exist in near-perfect condition or with unique minting errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks, and these are the coins that collectors are willing to pay massive sums for, pushing their value into hundreds of thousands of dollars at auctions and private sales. And when we talk about the current market value reaching an astonishing $779,313, we are referring to extremely rare, pristine examples graded at the highest levels by professional grading services, coins that have flawless surfaces, sharp details, and exceptional eye appeal, and these are the coins that create headlines and fuel the dreams of collectors worldwide. But even if your coin is not in perfect condition, it can still hold surprising value because collectors also look for specific features such as strong luster, minimal wear, and clean fields, and even small differences can significantly impact the price. Now let's talk about the design because understanding the details can help you identify valuable pieces. The obverse of the coin features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right with the word Liberty to the left and the date 2003 along with the D mint mark to the right, while the reverse at that time still displayed the classic Lincoln Memorial design, a symbol of American heritage and unity, and coins with sharper strikes where the details of the memorial columns are clearly visible are often more desirable, especially in higher grades, and collectors pay close attention to these details because they indicate the quality of the strike and preservation. Now moving into the market aspect, which is where things truly get thrilling because the coin collecting world is driven by rarity, demand, and condition, and the 2003 D Liberty 1 cent has steadily gained attention among collectors who are searching for modern coins with investment potential, and as more people become aware of rare error coins and high-grade specimens, the demand continues to rise, pushing prices higher and higher, and this is exactly why coins that were once considered common are now being re-evaluated and sometimes selling for astonishing amounts. And here's an important tip for anyone watching right now: never underestimate the coins you already have, because valuable pieces are often hiding in plain sight, sitting in old jars, drawers, or even your daily change, and the difference between a 1-cent coin and a 6-figure collectible can come down to tiny details that most people would never notice. So it's always worth taking a closer look, using a magnifying glass, and learning what to search for. And if you happen to find a 2003 D penny with unusual characteristics or in exceptional condition, it might be worth getting it professionally graded because authentication and grading can dramatically increase its market value and credibility among buyers. And as we wrap up this incredible journey into the world of the 2003 D Liberty 1 cent, remember that coin collecting is not just about money, it's about history, discovery, and the thrill of finding something rare and valuable where others see nothing special. And this coin is a perfect example of how even modern pennies can become treasures worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. So keep searching, keep learning, and keep your eyes open because your next big discovery could be just one coin away. and if you enjoyed this deep dive into rare US coins, make sure to stay connected with Rare US Coin. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern coins that many people ignore but collectors quietly hunt for, the Liberty 1 cent 2013 D, a coin that may look ordinary at first glance but carries a story, a market demand, and a surprising value that can reach up to $779,373 depending on condition, rarity, and unique minting characteristics. And if you think that sounds unbelievable, stay with me, because by the end of this video you will look at every penny in your pocket very differently. Now let's begin with the history that makes this coin so special. The 2013 D Lincoln cent was minted in Denver, which is what the small d mint mark represents under the year, and while millions of these coins were produced, not all coins are created equal, because in the world of coin collecting, condition is everything, and even more important are mint errors, rare varieties, and high-grade specimens that can turn a 1-cent coin into a collector's dream. The design of this coin features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design that has been a symbol of American coinage since 1909, created by Victor David Brenner, and on the reverse side of the 2013 cent, we see the Union Shield design, which was introduced in 2010 to represent Lincoln's preservation of the United States as a unified country. And while this design is common today, early high-grade examples from specific mints like Denver can command serious attention in the collector market. Now let's talk about why the 2013 D penny can be worth such an astonishing amount like $779,373, because this is where things get exciting. Most of these coins in circulation are only worth face value, but when you find one in perfect uncirculated condition, graded MS 67 or higher by professional grading services, its value starts to climb dramatically. And if the coin has a rare mint error such as double die, off-center strike, or a die crack combined with pristine preservation, collectors are willing to pay extraordinary prices, because these coins are not just currency, they are pieces of history and rarity combined. And the demand for high-grade modern coins has been increasing rapidly in recent years as new collectors enter the market and compete for the best examples, pushing prices higher and higher. And that is exactly why a seemingly simple 2013 D penny can reach values that shock the average person. Now imagine this: you could have one of these coins sitting in an old jar, a piggy bank, or even in your daily change, and you would never know its true worth unless you take the time to examine it carefully. Look for sharp details on Lincoln's face, a clean and flawless surface, and a strong, clear mint mark, because these small details can make the difference between 1 cent and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And this is what makes coin collecting so thrilling: the idea that treasure can be hiding in plain sight. Now let's explore the market side of this coin. The coin collecting market is driven by rarity, demand, and condition, and modern coins like the 2013 D are becoming increasingly popular because they are accessible yet still offer the potential for rare discoveries. Auctions have shown that collectors are willing to pay premium prices for top-graded coins, especially when they are among the finest known examples. And as more coins are submitted for grading, only a tiny fraction achieve the highest grades, making them even more valuable over time. And this scarcity is what fuels the high market value we are talking about today. So if you are serious about finding valuable coins, start by checking your pennies, especially those from the Denver Mint. Use a magnifying glass, learn about grading standards, and pay attention to any unusual features or errors, because that is where the real money is. And remember, every expert collector started with a single coin and a curious mind, so do not underestimate what you might already have. The 2013 D Liberty 1 cent is a perfect example of how modern coins can still hold incredible value, combining history, craftsmanship, and the excitement of discovery into one small piece of copper-plated zinc. And as we continue to explore rare coins on this channel, keep your eyes open, your collection growing, and your passion alive, because the next coin you find could be the one that changes everything. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2013 D penny, make sure to stay tuned for more unbelievable coin stories right here on Rare US Coins.